What is going on, everybody? Today I'm at home. I'm not going to the shop. I'm not really going to be doing anything. At your guys' request, probably the most requested video since starting this S14 build is a build breakdown. When I say build breakdown, people are asking for in-depth product lists, pricing to build a car like this with labor, and it's kind of all over the place, and lots of comments. So I thought, you know what, the car's finally done. I don't need to buy anything else, so I can actually do a legit list of products and pricing, because I'm not gonna have to spend any more money. And then in this video, I'm going to call Chelsea Denofa, who has built lots of race cars. He knows the hours spent. I mean, he adds up everything. Chelsea's really smart, and you guys should definitely check out his channel. But I don't really know how many hours I spent on the car, but he is going to give us a good idea. And then we're going to take an average shop hourly rate, and we're going to add that up, and we're going to come up with a number for you guys to build my car, because that's what we're going off of. And then through this, I'm going to tell you guys ways that you could do it for cheaper, or things that maybe you were a bit overboard, or if I could go back, I would change. So let's just jump into this. This is the build breakdown of my 1995 Nissan 240SX with a 408 stroker LS engine. I'm going to start with the shell. The shell was $1,500. The Holley Sniper EFI intake manifold, $529. Holley EFI fuel rail kit, $110. Holley injectors, 83-pound injectors, $68 a piece, $550 total. Holley EFI digital dash, $800. LS2 water pump, $179. Holley EFI 95mm throttle body, $475. Earl's Ultra Pro PTFE fuel line, $10 a foot. We used about 30 feet, so 300 bucks. Earl's Dash 8 PTFE AN straight fitting, they're $10 a piece, and I used 6 of them, 60 bucks. Earl's Dash 8 AN 90 degree PTFE fitting, we used 6 of them at $25 a piece, which is $150. Earl's Dash 8 AN 45 degree PTFE fitting, $25 a piece, we use 4, 100 bucks. Canton Racing remote oil filter, $135. Canton oil pan for LS, $600. Holley LS complete accessory drive kit, $1,300. Origin S14 Kooky stylish kit, $1,200. Origin Type 3 over fenders, 55mm front and rear, $900. VIS vented hood, $700. CD009 gearbox, it's a 350Z gearbox for those of you that don't know, $700. ISR tranny adapter for the LSX, CD009 kit, $1,500. ISR Performance LS swap headers, $600. ISR Pro Series suspension arms, $500. ISR KA radiator, $300. ISR LS swap engine mounts, $300. FD legal Wise Fab kit, $1,575. One piece aluminum drive shaft, $500. Koenig Hypergram wheels, $190 a piece, IF16, which is a total of $2,700. Comp cam, $400. LS3 heads, $750. Sparco Pro ADV seat, $990. BCBR coilovers, $1,000. Willwood pedals, $212. 4 3/4 master cylinders, $200 total. Radium fuel cell with fuel pumps, $1,900. Radium engineering fuel pressure regulator, $200. Radium high flow fuel filter, $100. FD spec cage, $3,000. Tube front, $1,400. Tube rear, $1,200. Exhaust, $1,200. Now you can do that for a lot cheaper, and we'll talk about what you can do cheaper after this. Paint, 3 to 5,000. It's a BMW color. Nismo power brace, 300. LS2 block, 1,300. 4-inch crank, 725. Machine work, 1,200. Wiseco pistons, 1,200. LS3 ARP head studs, 346. Rods, 700. Trunnion upgrade kit, 150. LS3 rocker arms, 200. Clutch, 500. Villains handbrake, 125. King CD009 shifter, 350. PBM rear drop knuckle, 400. Switch panel, 150. Battery, 100. D-Max taillights, 360. Black housing kooky headlights, 200. Z32 brakes, 500. Z axles, 300. Villains diff stubs, so you can run the stock diff with the 350Z axles, 255. And LS3 lifters, 150. That gives us a total of $44,512 in parts. So let's give Chelsea a call and see what he thinks for the labor.
Yo.
Good evening, Chelsea.
How are you, sir?
You're on camera.
On camera?
Well, I mean, your voice is on camera.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, sorry about that. But
Over here slinging parts for Harry.
Yeah, you sound great though, so it's perfect. So now that the car is finished, one of like my most requested like videos in the comments is just to do like basically a build breakdown on my car, because people always ask, oh, how much does it cost to build a car? You know, blah blah blah. So I figured I would do it as if they were going to do it, if they were going to take a shell to a shop and build a car, right? Now, pricing up the
labor and everything.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what they want. So, what'd you say?
I said good luck, everyone listening.
All right, so I have a list of parts here, minus the very basic stuff, like brake lines that you buy at AutoZone and stuff, but a rough total of parts. Now, a normal shop charges what?
What, for labor?
For labor.
What's that?
Dude, we lost you.
I know.
Okay, well, my
slanging some parts.
All right.
I lost service where I was.
That's okay. My question for you was, how many hours goes into building a car similar to mine, you think?
Similar to yours, I would say probably 400 hours.
About 4. That's what I was thinking. About 300 to 400, depending at the rate that you're working. But
Yeah.
okay, and then
I mean, I always say, like, if you're taking your car to the shop, just plan on like 40 grand in labor, like for one of those builds.
but yeah, because it's about $100 an hour roughly at 400 hours. That's $40,000.
Yeah, and also like when you do builds like that, it's also good to take note of buying parts that are already made, like harnesses and like the chassis harness and all that stuff. And the engine harness, it sounds like, oh man, the engine harness is $1,500 or $600, or like a Holly one's only like $400 or something, you know? And it's like, oh, if I pay someone to build me a harness in labor, you know what I mean? Like, so being able to buy those parts like finished and done saves you a ton of money.
Good point. Good point. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate.
You did your own like chassis harness and stuff.
Yeah, but this is for somebody that's just wants to spend the money, wants to go out and buy the parts, drop a shell off to a shop, and come back to a fully built car.
Yeah, I would say 40 grand in labor, you know, and then another, 30 grand in parts.
We totaled up my parts, and it was $45,000.
Yeah.
So.
But that's like full retail, though.
Yeah, that's full retail. I mean, these kids that are listening, sometimes you can find deals. You can, if you order a lot of stuff from one place, sometimes they'll give you a price break. But this is just if you were to go and order everything retail offline. And my total of $45,000 doesn't include shipping.
Right.
You know, so like 16 wheels with the shipping is kind of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, all the builds that I've gone through and, you know, gotten to the point where I was like, okay, this is what it's going to cost. It's always usually around 30 grand, though. Because really, like, someone doesn't need 16 wheels, and then there's always a way to, like, save money on a lot of different stuff, you know?
Totally. Like, I mean, I'm not going to go into the specifics. That's a waste of time. But with you on the phone, I'll do it with the viewers. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of ways, and I'm going to talk about that. I'm like, hey, you know, maybe right here you could do this instead to get, you know, to save some money.
Yeah.
But for all the viewers that are watching and listening, you guys can go check out Chelsea's YouTube channel. He does a lot of in-depth stuff with more with driving than breaking stuff down in the price range of building a car. Maybe you should do something like that, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I build super cheap.
Well, you have.
Cars aren't cheap, but, like, you know, I build a lot of really cheap cars.
Yeah.
Because I find that it's more fun to have a simple car that runs all the time that does the job than to build, like, insane stuff.
I agree. And I'm right on that cusp with this car, but shit, we got oil pressure, dude. That's all that matters.
Yeah, right.
So after talking to Chelsea, it's safe to say, you know, between 300 and 400 hours into building a car like this. And the lowest amount that you're going to pay a performance shop to build a car is going to be $100 an hour. If you want to go to a really good shop that does really good work, you're going to be looking at something a little bit more. But about $100, you're looking at about 40 grand in labor. So, grand total for the S14 to be built at a shop, at all retail parts, would be $86,512 to build this car. So now let's go through and figure out how you can do this stuff cheaper and maybe buy some different parts that would make it cheaper but still reliable. So for starters, the shell, you can always find a shell for cheaper. Now, I bought mine for $1,500 because it was clean. If you're, you know, capable of doing body work, you have a family friend that does body work, maybe you can find a shell for like $500 if you're doing a 240. If you're doing an E46, E36, same thing. You can probably get something for closer to $1,000. Now, I used all Holley stuff. They came on board, wanted to work with me, and I'm very grateful for everything that they've hooked me up with. But you do not need all of this stuff. The intake manifold, that's pretty spendy, you know, $529. You could just run an LS6 manifold or something like that and get away with that fine. Find them at a junkyard, eBay, Craigslist, whatever. Save a lot of money there. Fuel rails, like that's something that you would pair with this aftermarket manifold. You could run stock fuel rails. Injectors, injectors. If you're going to be using pump gas, you can get away with using stock injectors. Anything with like ethanol or race gas, you might want to bump those up a little bit. But you can definitely get injectors for like 30, 40 bucks a piece. Fuel lines. This was very expensive. You can do it for a lot cheaper. You can run aluminum hardline across the whole bottom side of your car, and that would be way cheaper. Or probably you can get away with using stock fuel lines too. So a lot of this stuff, you know, I wanted to start with a bare shell and build it with all brand new stuff. You do not have to do that. And this is just something that I've always wanted to do. I've always had cars that were reliable, but it's just something about seeing a car with, you know, all AN fittings and that race car look. You know, a lot of my friends do it and have done it, and it was something that I've always wanted to do, and I was finally able to, and so I did it. But like Chelsea said, you know, like he has more fun building just, you know, I wouldn't say shitty cars, but just cheap, very lightly modded rear-wheel drive cars and going drifting. My 1JS13 was basically that. It was pretty laid back, tamed, not a lot of money, very cheap to run at a track event, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's also nothing wrong with this. If you have the money and you want to spend it, or you want to work towards something and you're patient, this teaches you a lot of patience. building a car like this teaches you a lot of things. 1, money management. 2, patience, and just appreciation of something, you know, something very expensive. That's really it. Now the labor, you know, looking at $40,000 in labor, you're probably not going to need a shop to do the whole thing unless you're somebody that works a lot. You don't have time to build a car, but you have the money, so you just drop the shell off and you let them take care of it. That makes sense. But a lot of you are going to want to get your hands dirty and work on this stuff. And I have people comment on my videos all the time saying that I don't work on my car, which is insane for anybody to say. And if you do think that, or you've said that in my video, please unsubscribe and don't ever watch my videos again. Please and thank you. But, you know, there's a lot of things that you might not know how to do, but a lot of things you do know how to do. So while your engine's at the machine shop, you know, you can be prepping your engine bay, you can be bolting on your new coilovers, your new suspension arms, you can be cleaning everything up, prepping it for the cage. There's a lot of things that you can do to cut the costs and the hours that the mechanic or the tech is going to have to spend on your car. Another thing that you can definitely eliminate, it's not that expensive, but when it comes to having a shop do this part, it would be expensive because it takes a lot of time. It's one of those unknown things. And whenever you have an unknown and it's custom fabrication, it can take some time. So these Willwood pedals that I got, they're swing style, they have their own reservoirs, their own masters, you have to make lines that go to them, were a pain in the ass. And if I could go back, I would have never done them. They're just ridiculous. There was absolutely no need. I don't have a brake booster now, so I guess I don't have to worry about that getting hot, but it was not worth the time. And I also had to make a custom steering column, which isn't on this list. It was about 300 bucks, just because I don't expect anybody to ever buy one. I think it's stupid. And if I go back, I would have not done it. But everything else, I love. I'm very happy with my car. I cannot wait to drive it. And we're waiting on the last couple things for Tom to do whenever he has time. And then it's going to be back out here at the house. We're going to be driving it, going to the track, doing cool shit. I can't wait. I hope you guys are happy with this video. It is probably the most requested thing in my comments for the past 6 months. And if I missed anything, you know, feel free to comment. I would type this out in the description, but that just seems like too much work. So if you want to know everything I used in this car, go back and watch every video, and then you'll hear me talk about all of it. So, cheers guys, peace.